You're listening to the Nerd News Podcast on the Ace and TJ family.
It's Riggins, and I want you to know about Tammy Stowe and Curtis Schaefer at Atlantic Bay. They're providing lending peace of mind at 704-685-4366 and at teamstowe@atlanticbay.com. Or click the ad to get to tammystowe.com.
Atlantic Bay Mortgage Group, LLC, NMLS 72043. NMLSConsumerAccess.org is an equal opportunity lender. Located at 600 Lynn Haven Parkway, Suite 203, Virginia Beach, Virginia, 23452.
When you gather around a shakaroni from Papa John's, you're sharing more than pizza. You're sharing textbooks, free meals, and better basketball courts. That's because for every shakaroni sold, Papa John's donates $1 to the Papa John's Foundation to share with charities like United Negro College Fund and the Boys and Girls Club of America. It isn't just pizza, it's pizza with a purpose. Order an extra cheesy, extra large shakaroni for $13. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. U.S. only through 10/24/21. Prices and participation may vary.
Nerdy is defined as someone characterized by an obsessive interest in something. Xbox, Marvel, technology, D&D, Lord of the Rings, escape rooms, Pokemon, Funko Pop, Star Wars, PlayStation, comic books, Magic the Gathering, Nintendo, Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers. All of that is Tech D-Rob, host of the Nerd News Podcast, your source for everything nerdy.
I realize you guys are all nerds.
And this is the Nerd News Podcast.
Yo, the first Nerd News recorded in the new studio. Everybody has left on a Monday afternoon. Well, Monday morning still. It's 10:45 as I'm recording. But I wanted to give a go at recording the podcast in the new studio, just to hear how it sounds. Try to make use of this new fancy board we have. I thought I was going to have some audio to play for you through my computer, which I can do with this new board, but I don't. So, just a regular old-fashioned Nerd News podcast today, and then we'll see how I liked doing it here, and if we continue doing it in the future. But you know, it's a new thing. It's a new thing, so I had to try it. I don't know why my voice went up like that. Anyway, thanks for joining me on the Nerd News podcast. It is September 21st when you're hearing this at the earliest. It could be later, of course. So let's get into the quick hits real quick. On today, Kena Bridge of Spirits is out for PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, and PC. Shelter 2 is on PC. World War Z Aftermath on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Pokemon Unite is making its way to iOS and Android tomorrow. Diablo Resurrected 2 is coming to the PC on Friday, along with the game Ember, without an E in the end. It does have an E at the beginning, so it's EMBR on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Switch, as well as the PC. MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries for PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4. And that's not Friday, that's Thursday. I'm sorry. I don't know if you heard my Discord noise. I do not know. It won't let me turn that off. So, well, let's adjust some things real quick, or you might hear more. Let's look. We're doing this on the fly here. Let me go to my settings and change the input. Oh, there's another one. Output to the Pro speakers. There we go. And then we can mute. All right. There we go. No more Discord noises. Sable is out for Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and PC. Death Stranding Director's Cut coming to the PlayStation 5. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot on Switch. And Lost Judgment, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X/S, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. That is a Yakuza series game, I believe, and that is out September 24th as well. In theaters this weekend, Dear Evan Hansen, which stars the 27-year-old Ben Platt as a high school student. And obviously they chose him simply because he played the role on Broadway, and, you know, it's kind of his role. But he certainly does not look like a high school student anymore, in my opinion. DVD-wise, F9 and Cruella are out. And then digitally, we have the Escape Room Tournament of Champions out to watch digitally. And I don't recommend it. I just don't. So we're going to take a quick break. And when we return, We will come back and we'll go over some stuff that we're going to go over. I don't know if I have 2 or 3 more segments left. Or I'm sorry, I don't know if I have 2 or 3 total segments today. We'll just see how it goes. I'll be right back.
At TechD_Rob on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. More Nerd News Podcast next.
Deutsche Beverage Technology is a custom-designed brewery equipment manufacturer and supplier with expertise on a wide variety of beverage process equipment that can save you time and money. Learn all about it at acetj.com/beverage.
Win your share of $1 million all season long with a BetRivers Beat the Spread Challenge. Download the BetRivers app or go to betrivers.com to start winning. Presented by Rivers Casino Portsmouth. Must be 21. Playable in Virginia only. Gambling problem? Call 1-888-532-3500.
The Nerd News Podcast with Tech D Rob is new every Tuesday. Subscribe now on iTunes and Google Play.
Damn near every Tuesday at the very least. I do my best. Sometimes there's not much to go on, and you kind of just have to roll with it. So today is one of the lighter days. Let's put it that way. I don't have any reviews for you. I don't have any, I don't know how to put it. I don't have any long form things except for maybe the iPhone situation, which I will go over. But let's just get to the things we're going to get to. I would give you a rundown of what's coming up, but it's basically this whole episode is going to be a little bit of a rundown type situation. So let's start with my most anticipated Netflix release, which is Midnight Mass Season 1. If you'll remember, I spoke about that being something I was looking forward to simply because what's the name of the thing I'm talking about? Mike Flanagan, the man responsible for The Haunting of Hill House and The Haunting of Bly Manor, is behind this as well, and certainly something I'm looking forward to. There's no way that loaded that quickly, right? Sorry, I'm trying to adjust my soundboard. There we go. Because I have a soundboard capability with this new board that we use. So if I do have clips to play, I can either play them through my computer, then you'll hear my Discord noises, or I can put them on what's called a soundboard, but I usually call it a wall, which is what we used in the radio station where we were. So more capabilities every week. I'm gonna get this down. It's gonna be really, really cool. So yeah, Midnight Mass Season 1. I say Season 1, but typically it's usually just one season. So it could be, it could be the only one. We'll see. LeVar Burton has said he is no longer interested in hosting Jeopardy. And that's what you say when they've never approached you. I'm not saying that LeVar wouldn't have been good, but I mean, I don't believe they've talked to him about potentially being the host. So, I mean, that's just the way you got to save face at some point. So Mayim Bialik and Ken Jennings will host for the rest of 2021 at the very least, as they already search for a replacement for whatever that Mike, I want to say his name was, whatever his name was. He's no longer involved with Jeopardy in general. So there's that whole thing. HBO Max is no longer available through Amazon. And honestly, not having had that through Amazon, I didn't know that was a thing. I thought people were just, got HBO Max on as a standalone thing, and I guess that's what they're going towards at this point because that's where it is. Tom Hardy was and you can get 50% off of HBO Max right now if you had that situation. You can just go. They may require some information. But you can get HBO Max again at a discounted rate if you go get it now. It's for 6 months, half off. Tom Hardy was spotted in a now deleted picture wearing a Spider-Man, No Way Home hat. I believe No Way Home is the upcoming release. So the internet is abuzz thinking that Tom Hardy is somehow in the movie. I mean, it could be. Also, he could just be wearing a hat. I'm sure it would not be hard for him to get said hat. I mean, he is a big person in the Sony studios, I don't know. It just seems a little crazy to just jump to that conclusion. But it was deleted, which, again, could just be because they were trying to avoid any sort of confusion, or they're trying to keep it a secret. I don't know. Yeah, I really don't know. So that's the situation with the Tom Hardy hat ordeal. Christopher Nolan has signed a production deal with Universal. I don't know if it's for multiple movies, but at least one movie about Robert J. Oppenheimer. I believe that's the name of the person. It's about the father of the atomic bomb, and he is making this movie with Universal rather than Warner Media, simply because he does not want to work with Warner anymore, because he was not happy about the whole Tenet thing when that went down, and he's also was not happy with their day and date plan release for 2021, and did not want any of his movies involved in such a thing. He is a firm believer in the theater. But what he got from Universal, because as a free agent, he does have the availability to make demands, and his demands were 100-day theatrical window, which is huge. That's a very large theatrical window. The best way to put it is, 100 days from January 1st. If it released on New Year's Day, you would not be able to see it anywhere else other than a theater until April 11th. That's huge. That's how much of I don't know what the word I'm looking for. I don't know. That's how much he believes in theater release. And he wants to make sure that's the way his movie is seen and taken in. I'll be honest with you. I agree. Christopher Nolan's movies do need to be experienced in theaters. I saw Dunkirk at home, and not a bad movie. It was great. But I can only imagine just how much better it would have been had I seen it in a theater, specifically an IMAX theater, which he is also a huge fan of. But along with that, he also gets the final cut. He has the final say on any of the movies that he is on. That's his deal. And he also gets 20% of the gross of the film. With a 100-day theatrical window, I mean, if people really want to see this movie, it could stand that he could make a lot of money, but I don't know. I don't know how many people are going to be pining to see an Oppenheimer movie. And I mean, I'll see it because it's Christopher Nolan, but it doesn't seem to be a blockbuster, if you will. Speaking of blockbusters, what a transition. Battlefield 2024 has been delayed to November 19th. It was originally coming out October 22nd. Delayed for nearly a month, and you just got to wait until my birthday to play that game. I don't know that I'm interested in it or the new Call of Duty Vanguard. I have not been involved in any of the betas for either, and probably won't be. The last time I played a shooting game was the game that's like Halo, but with portals, and I can't remember the name of it to save my life. Oh, God, what is the name of it? Anyway, but you know what I'm talking about if you've paid attention. But it was good. It was fun. I talked about it on our previous episode, and I just can't remember what the hell I said. Anyway, Twisted Metal has a new TV series coming out, and Anthony Mackie is involved. I mean, color me one of the people who did not expect, first of all, a Twisted Metal TV series, but even then for someone as high caliber as Anthony Mackie to be involved. He's Captain America, so it's a little bit of a weird jump in my opinion. So that's on the way. So if you missed the news, PlayStation 5's SSD expansion is now live for anyone who owns a PlayStation 5. You just got to make sure you get the right memory, the right kind of, it needs a heat sink, it needs all these kinds of things. And there are lists available on PlayStation's website and all that kind of stuff to get you on the right track. But that is now live. I'm not particularly worried about expanding my PlayStation SSD. I just haven't played very many PlayStation games, but I guarantee you I will get one before 2023 or 2022, whenever all these big, huge games are coming. So definitely on the lookout for me. iPhone 13 is something I'm going to talk about when we get back from I am going to take a quick break, and then when we return, I've got a few other things to talk about, but the number one thing I want to talk about is the iPhone 13 and how you can get one for next to nothing. And this isn't an ad for any particular service. I just want to let you know in case you're on the fence, or if you were looking to upgrade but weren't exactly blown away by what the iPhone did. And I'll explain all that when we come back.
Subscribe now on iTunes and Google Play. The Nerd News Podcast will be right back. Follow TechD-Rob on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch at TechD_Rob. This is the Nerd News Podcast.
Hey. It's the Nerd News Podcast. I don't know why I did that. Sometimes the music hits you and you just have to feel it. You gotta feel it, man. Okay. As I said, I'm going to talk about the iPhone in just a minute, the new iPhone 13 and what all it offers for you. But I do want to talk about a couple other things before we do that. If you're a fan of IKEA and you're a fan of video games, I'm sure there's somebody out there. There's a new range of furniture coming in October in collaboration with Asus ROG, which is something of gamers. I don't remember exactly what it is. But there's no word on like exactly. I mean, there's ideas. There's like neck pillows. There's obviously chairs, probably some desks as well, but nothing concrete about what to expect, what it might look like. But we are inching ever closer to October, so maybe we'll know something then. That was cool. I'm hoping for some nice furniture at a fairly cheap price that is more geared towards gaming. That would be really cool. And then another thing I want to talk about is Magic the Gathering. Thursday was the release on Magic the Gathering Arena for the new set Midnight Hunt, which is goes back to the realm of Innistrad. If you're familiar with Magic the Gathering, it does involve vampires, werewolves, witches, murders. It's all that kind of stuff. It's kind of a gothic horror type situation. A very cool set, lots of fun to play with, especially in the limited format, which is where you get packs of cards and make a deck out of the cards in that pack, and those packs. That was a lot of fun. I've enjoyed playing it a lot over the weekend as well. And I think the set, first of all, if you're familiar with Magic, you're familiar with rotations, and this set marks the next rotation. So it cuts out some of the older sets, makes things a little more even, by eliminating some very powerful sets from the standard rotation. Again, I'm probably speaking Greek to a lot of people, but if you know Magic, you know what I'm talking about. And the game and the set's really, really cool. There's a lot of cool themes. There's a lot of cool mechanics. And I'm a big fan of the set. Looking forward to playing more on Magic the Gathering Arena soon. And the next set is set to come out in less than 2 months. It is Magic the Gathering. Oh, it's not Midnight Hunt. It's another Innistrad set, but this one is more focused on the vampires, whereas Midnight Hunt was more on the werewolves. So that one's coming out in November. In between then, another dose of horror for you. Paranormal Activity Next of Kin is making its way to Paramount Plus on October 29th. I haven't watched the trailer yet, but I'm a big fan of the Paranormal Activity movies, so I'll definitely be checking it out. Another thing that's supposedly coming, Nintendo 64 games are supposedly coming to the Switch. Now, people are speculating it's going to require a payment of some sort for you to get these games, maybe an extra per year situation. No one knows 100% for sure, but that's the guess right now. But we'll see what happens when it happens. So the next thing and final thing on the list is the iPhone 13. So real quick, I'm going to go to Apple, and I'm going to give you just a quick little little thing about the iPhone 13 and the 13 Pro. So let's compare the two phones. So the iPhone 13 has the new processor, the A15 chip. I was hoping maybe we'd go to an M chip in the phone soon, which would be really, really, really cool. The cameras have been upgraded. What else has been upgraded? It's got a smaller notch at the top. Both are HDR, both are splash water and dust resistant. The camera's upgraded, of course. Video's upgraded. There's some things in video recording that will automatically focus on the person, like on people facing the camera. People are talking about using it to make movies, all that kind of stuff. Blah, blah, blah. The short of it is it's very similar to last year's. It has that what's the name of the snap on the back with magnets, MagSafe. It has MagSafe just like last year's, and it's honestly the same as my phone almost, which is an iPhone 11 Pro Max, but it doesn't have, mine just doesn't have the magnet charging. Now the iPhone 13 Pro and Pro Max do have some more video capabilities. They do shoot in ProRes format, which is something people who do professional videos use. I myself am not one of those people, so that's not a big selling point for me. But it does have one big selling point, and that is the Pro Motion display, which can go up to 120 hertz refresh rate, but it changes the refresh rate based on whatever you're working with. So if the refresh rate doesn't need to be that high, it's going to save you a little bit of battery, a little bit of processing speed to not go up to 120 hertz on something like that. And I would think Apple would have it pretty well down as to which ones, how that works. So the only thing that I've seen that's different in certain versions of the Pro and Pro Max is if you go with the Pro or Pro Max and you want to do the ProRes in 4K, you can only do that on the models that are over 128 gigabytes. So if you get the 256, you get the 512, or you get the terabyte option, which is also available, you can do 4K ProRes video at 30 frames per second, but not on the 128. That one only goes up to 1080p at 30 frames per second on the new iPhone 13 Pro / Pro Max. So let me tell you, I wasn't blown away. It's a pretty unspectacular phone in comparison to, like, it's not a big jump. Of course, the phone looks slick. It looks smooth. You get a little bit more surface area because you don't have the notch is nowhere near as big as before. But again, nothing too crazy. So I wasn't even that interested. And I was just clicking around and I was like, all right, let's see how much it would cost if I wanted to pre-order one, just so I know. So I went with the iPhone 13 Pro Max. I went with silver. And I went, you know what? Let's see what a terabyte one would cost. And then it says connect to a carrier now. So I'm with AT&T, so I did that. And then when I did that, it tells me an AT&T special trade-in deal. iPhone 13 Pro Max from $16 a month over 36 months after trade-in. So 1 to 3 monthly payments of $44 before bill credits. And I was like, that seems like a large amount of money they're paying on your phone. And then you have to go and you go through it and you tell it that you have a phone to trade in. So mine's an 11 Pro Max. I do that. Like click, click, click. It's in good condition. Yes. Yes. And then if you click pay monthly, AT&T is giving you $1,000 in AT&T bill credits if you trade in a phone. That's not, I mean, it has to be on the list of things that it works with. So the 11 and newer are on that list. You'll get $1,000 in AT&T bill credits spread out over 3 years. Now, 3 years, that was the only thing that scared me a little bit, because that means I can't get a new phone for 13 years without having to lose these bill credits. because the bill credits are split up over those 36 months. So if I wanted to get a new phone in less than 3 years, I'd just have to pay off the rest and not get any more bill credits. I've read through all the disclaimers and stuff, and it says if you have to leave the phone on AT&T for 3 years, that particular phone. So if that phone is sold or traded, you lose the credits from there. And then I thought to myself, how much better are phones going to get over the next 3 years? What might we see? We might see a foldable iPhone. We might see a super fast charging iPhone that's got, there's a new phone from Xiaomi that has a 120 watt charger, and that can fully charge its battery in 30 minutes. So maybe that comes to iPhone. And maybe there's a whole bunch of features that, we just don't know about in the works. Maybe a new touch screen with a built-in thumbprint on the screen like Samsung does. But then I realized to myself, 3 years ago, the iPhone 10 released. And is the iPhone 10 that much different from the iPhone 13? I don't think so. So maybe the 10S came out since then. I don't remember. But 3 years, I've been upgrading every 2 since I've switched to iPhone, essentially. And every 3 years is just another year, and I think I'd be just fine. I've been upgrading every other year because it seemed like for a while, every other year was... so like the 7 and the 8 were very similar. And I had the 8 because the 7 was kind of a new situation. And then the 10 was the new one. And the 10 kind of got perfected in the 11. And then the 12 was the new one with the Pro Mag. And then the 13 came out afterwards. And it seems to be, just a refresh of the model, upgrading it. And on that note, I just went, I think I can deal with a new phone for 3 years that's basically completely paid for, almost by them, because I didn't go with the terabyte. I went with the 512. And that meant that they would pay all but $11 of the bill a month. However, if you were good with 128 gigabytes on an iPhone 13 Pro, not Pro Max, they'd pay for the whole thing. If you wanted a Pro Max, you could pay $275 a month. But again, the iPhone 13 Pro, if you do just the base model, 128 gigabytes, and you pay monthly, you'll pay $0 as long as your phone is one of the ones that is on the trade-in program. And even if it's not, you can get a good bit off in general. So that's only with AT&T. But Sprint is also offering a similar thing with up to $700 or more. It doesn't say exactly how to get more. T-Mobile is the same as Sprint because they're together now. Verizon also is offering iPhone 13 Pro from $6.63 a month after trade-in. 1 to 2. It doesn't say if this one's for 3 years, though. Pay monthly. Oh, that one's over 30 months, so it's a little different. Sprint, I want to say, would probably be over 36 months as well. It looks like that's what they're going with. Oh. Sprint and T-Mobile might not be every month. They may be the better way to go if that's who you have, because you can just get the lump sum and then you're good. But anyway, all I'm saying is it's a hell of a good deal if you're looking to get a new iPhone, or even if you're not and you just feel like you're at a place where this one, and like I said, I wasn't even looking to get this one, but after I saw everything, I just was like, this is kind of boring. But having gone through all this and seeing that I could get the new ones, I made my order. Now I did end up, this is a little weird. I did, if you follow me on Twitter, you'd have seen, but I did order the terabyte version, and AT&T said that my line wasn't eligible for upgrade and they canceled my order. So I called customer service and I said, hey, I'm looking at my app and I'm looking at my phone. It says upgrade ready. But I just got a message that says I can't upgrade. So what the hell is that? And they responded with, no, we don't see why that shouldn't have happened. So maybe it was just a glitch. Just order again. And I was like, well, I ordered at 8 a.m. on Friday so I could get it as soon as possible. Now I'm going to be pushed back in line. So I went to go order it again. And I didn't, the terabyte one would have been delivered in October. So I was like, well, let me see if I can get the 512 earlier. Maybe less people are interested in that one. Maybe people are just going for the max one. And I was right. So I will, as of now, unless there's another glitch, have the new iPhone and potentially be able to do some sort of a review situation for next week. I doubt I'm going to be able to get into too many details of the phone by then. But I'm fully entrenched in the Apple ecosystem as of right now. I've got a MacBook. I got the AirPods, and then I'm gonna have the iPhone 13 Pro Max next week. And honestly, I might get the new Apple Watch later on as well. They got me. They're getting me. I have an Apple TV at home. I love it. I love it. Thank you for joining me on the Nerd News Podcast this week. I hope I didn't ramble too long about the iPhone, but I hope it was also informative for you. Thank you for joining me. I will see you next week.
That's it for this week's Nerd News Podcast. Follow TechD-Rob on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch at TechD_Rob. The Nerd News Podcast is available every Tuesday at noon. Subscribe now. More Nerd News next week.